right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to Tuesday Museday. Wow, we're 17 minutes in. Wow, that's crazy, you guys. What's happening? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Woo! So I made a call today, which is not just about the temperature in the air, if you know what I'm saying. I decided we needed another chill day, chill night, chill time. So I did put the AC on because it's hot up in here. I don't know where it is. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's summer over here in LA. But and I'm not going to say much, but I'll just say things are heating up. So I wanted to, but I also wanted to just return to some of these instruments that I haven't played in a while. And so I hope that was a nice surprise for some of you. But let's say hello. Bill, welcome. Nice to see you. Mick is here. Roseanne, of course. James. And Neil is here. Welcome. The sensational Sienna Price is here. Urban Dervish, hello. Welcome back. And Cornelius, nice to see you. Awesome. Rebecca, welcome. And Lacey is here. Welcome, welcome. And did I say Sue? I think I did. And we're all caught up. All right. So thank you for the comments. I appreciate that. And yes, oh yes, I'm in a safe area. I'm in a very safe area. So I was joking on Facebook though. I said I want my own National Guard. I mean, if we're getting them, I want one. Guard my parking space. You never know. Global Sound. All right, welcome. All right. So yeah, welcome everybody. I decided I hadn't played these instruments in a while, so let me just give you a quick update in case you're not familiar with them. And I do want to plug the retailer, the seller, and organizer of some of these instruments. So this one over here, I started with, and this, of course, where am I? This, of course, hello. This is the Monolini, which is a small monochord, right? And a monochord is an instrument that basically either all the strings can be tuned to the same note, or in this case, there's a couple different notes. There's two roots and 1/5, and the roots are D. So there's a low D and a high D, and then there's also the fifth, which is an A. So it goes A, D, D, right? And that's got like however many strings. What is it, 11 or something? 11 or 12. So that's there, and you can see it also in the number 3 camera. And before, sorry, I should have moved my camera, but I added a camera a week ago, and I spent a lot of time fiddling with my cameras this week to get them to all look uniform. But I neglected to move the main camera a little. All right, so as you can see, there's tuning pegs on the side. And before we started, you guys, with 10 minutes to go, all right, 10 minutes to the hour, I started to tune this thing, and every one of these was way out of tune. It was like it had been sitting for a while, and they were all really uniformly sharp, about a half step. I don't know how that happened. I usually keep this tuned to a D, like a D minor, a D and A, and they were all like almost a half step. So I tuned all these strings, and this is only one side. Of course, the other side has just as many, but that was a lot of tuning. So we got the Monolini in tune. And I like this instrument because it's just a drone and it's a nice sound. You know, it's just under, you could do anything over it, major or minor, and you're good. You're good to go. So that's a nice instrument. I wish you could hear it live because it has a real encompassing sort of quality, but maybe someday you can. All right. And then we have one of our main hand pan instruments here that we all love and enjoy, and this is from Metal Sounds, who sadly are not going to be making any more of these, but this is a one of their it's a Evolution series. That's right, and they call it a space drum. And so that's that, and you're probably all familiar with that. So I won't spend a lot of time on it, but Love the sound, and this is also in a D minor scale. And then other than that, I had a couple flutes, right? A D minor Native American style flutes, a bass flute, and a upper D. So we call this a mid D, and this would be a bass D. And that was Mad Max on the bass and Brent Haynes Wood Sounds flutes on the upper D, just for reference. And then I opened also with some seed pods. I have these seed pods, which have a nice sound, a unique sound. And I really enjoy these. And then the little frog, of course, we all like the frogs. It's a little woodblock sound. And then I use this shaker, one of my favorite shakers, which is made from 7 eggs, little blue eggs. Started leaking, so I put some duct tape on it, of course, because that's how we fix everything. And then we added some cajon and a little bit of conga drum in there, lots of reverb. Also the little kashishi here at one point. And that was pretty much it. That was the soundtrack. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to stop it because it's still going. So those are some instruments that you could pick from when we get to the Gimme 5 part of today's show. But we've got things to do before that, of course. So let's do it. And let's see. I have to think quick. I'm going to give you guys something hopefully kind of familiar. But let's do this.
Guess the sound!
All right, here we go. And I will take descriptions in this case because I don't think most people know the name of this instrument. So what is that? I gotta raise my little guessing window here. There we go. Any guesses on the sound? I'll switch mics. That's too much reverb. Hold on. Oh. Okay. I had some reverb on from before. What do you guys think? No guesses? What is it made out of? Any idea? I'll wait a few more seconds and then we're going to move on. No guesses? What does it sound like? I think it sounds like at least a couple things. So yeah, you guys are zeroing in on it, I think. I wouldn't quite call it a rattle, but it's kind of like a sistrum, yeah. Kind of like Urban Dervish said, a wooden sistrum thing. It is made partially of wood, but that's not what you're hearing. And yeah, it's not seed pods, although it does sound similar to seed pods. Sue, good guess, but no, it's not the bundle of sticks. Oh, see, it sounds like a lot of these things, though. You guys are right. It does sound like it could be bundled sticks or seed pods or sistrum kind of thing. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I forgot the name of it. I've looked it up before, and I don't say the name enough. So I have to take credit here, and not take credit, but admit that I don't remember the actual name. But let me show you. Let me show you what it is. It's this thing. I know these are. I think they use these in Zimbabwe, like as a rattle. It is a type of rattle, and it is a concussion instrument. But I wouldn't say that it's not like a typical rattle because it's made of slats of wood. So in a way, it is a bit like a sistrum, right? Because a sistrum has like this one that I was using last week, right? It's got the little jingly things, well, jingles in there, and this is kind of similar, although it is usually played this way, down, right? And if you look on the side here, there are some designs and things on the edge, which is kind of cool. But that's what that looks like, right? I don't know the name. Do you? Can we look it up? Yes, Cornelius, it is the thing. I would agree with you in this case. In this instant, I would say instance or instant. I would say it's yeah, it's the thing. This is the thing. The shaker thing. The it's not really a, what is that? Like a 60-degree angle? It's the 60-degree angle rattle. And oh, okay. Roseanne thinks Cornelius should get the points today. I don't know. That's kind of a hard sell. Although I understand why. Well, let's let the points ride for this week. I think we should just let them roll over, you guys. First time ever on the show. So that means next week there will be double the points. But since we don't know how many points there were, it's all irrelevant. Anyway, I'll try to look up the name. I had two of these. I have two of these somewhere, and it looks like I lost the top one on here, which is it was because they kind of come like little hi-hat cymbals. So there's pairs of them, but I see that the top pair seems to be missing the top. Anyway, that's also possibility for a Gimme 5. So Roseanne, I would look up. Oh, you're having internet hiccups. Yeah, I would say maybe Zimbabwe rattle, stick rattle or something. Zimbabwean stick rattle or calabash rattle. So it uses calabash, which is gourd, right? Calabash circles, right? What could you call them? Discs that are with holes in the middle, and then those are strung onto a stick and then decorated, or with, in this case, burn. That's like burn artwork. I don't know how you say that. Burnishing? No. All right, but that's what that is. Nice sound. And yeah, so that's good. Let's get aiming towards Gimme 5, you guys, and a few other instruments that I have available. I've got the Koshi chimes. Let me see how the Koshi chimes. I want to actually check this for a second. I'm going to see how well, and this is something that we could all pay attention to right now. Is the Koshi chimes are A432 tuned, right? So they're a little flat to the A440 standard, and they sound like that. When I tune the Monolini, I tune it to A440 because that's what the handpan is, and that's what most of my instruments are. But I'm curious to hear how these two blend, and I think they'll be okay because the thing is, the Monolini, all these notes are not perfectly tuned, right? And one of the reasons we don't tune them perfectly is because we want a full sound. We want a chorusy, kind of a chorusy sound. I'm turning my other mic on so you can hear that a little better. Yeah. So you hear how it's, when we say chorus, it's like there's a little, I don't know, silky effect. It's like there's a fullness to it. And one of the ways we get that fullness is we have the strings, they're not all identically tuned. They're a little off from one another, and that gives us a chorus effect. I mean, that's what it's called, because when you have a chorus of people, not everybody's voices are the same, and they're not all perfectly in tune. I guess if you're at a high level, they might be, but for most, choirs, or you have a chorus, that's why it's called that. But let's see what it sounds like when we mix the koshi chime and the manolini together. Yeah. So I don't really hear any problems, right? It all kind of works. So there we go. Now you know. So A432 is, of course, 8 cycles per second slower than A440. At middle A, at our tuning A, which is the A that's just below. I think it's to the A. Don't quote me on this. I think it's the A. Now you got to look up something for me. Is it the A right below middle C? I think it is. Or is it the A above middle C? It might be the A above middle C. See, I don't know. I don't remember all the different octave, like what the numbers are. I know it's right there somewhere in the middle. I think it's the A. 440 is not a high pitch, but well, let's see. I have a tuner right here. Or I have my will it tell me? Yeah. So let me see. So that's a 110 A. No squirm lies says above. Okay, that makes sense because so this is the 220. So that means another octave. I'm a sharp is the 440. So yeah, that's a pretty high A. That's a 220 A. It's kind of going back and forth though because it has a lot of harmonics. So we learned something. All right. So the A440 is the A above middle C on the piano, which is kind of high. It's like out of my normal singing range actually. And we have interrupt this broadcast to bring you makwa wooden rattles. I think they're called. Okay, Urban Dervish is saying it might be called makwa, Makwa. Let's look it up. Hold on. I got my phone here too, you guys. I can look up stuff. Let me see. Let's put makwa rattle. Except we got to spell rattle correctly. I'm going to see what I get. Let's see if it comes up. It says make a rattle or makwa rally. All right. Anything? I'm not getting it, but maybe you guys can. We could also try, what did I say? Zimbabwean. I'm putting in Zimbabwe rattle. Let's see what, oh, that's not it. Look at this. That's what the Metropolitan Museum of Art said it is. That's not it. Well, it could be a Zimbabwean rattle, but that's definitely not. That's not what we have here. All right. I'll let you guys look it up. So I do want to touch on a little bit on music mindfulness today because I haven't in a while. And the reason I want to do that is because I do believe in the, in the potential. I don't want to use the word power. I think that's a little overused and maybe a little too much, but the potential of music and sounds. But I'm a musician, so I don't really think about music in terms of it being sound. I mean, obviously it's sound, that's a given. So I'm going to stick with the term music, which in my definition, and this isn't exhaustive by any means, but in my definition, music is the experience of, and it's experience of sound as an aesthetic, uh, and both, and it is both created and interpreted, right? So that's all a musician is a aesthetic designer of sound, right? Using sound intentionally. And intentionally doesn't mean it can't be random. Like it could be random as part of the intention. So it doesn't mean that all music, has to be super organized. Obviously, there's composers and there's music that is um, random to some degree. But it is the idea of using sounds together to create an aesthetic experience, right? At the base level, and our relationship with those sounds becomes musical when we experience them as an aesthetic and as and in a relationship with them, right? So we're the ones as listeners and as experiencers of music that first we need to decide to have a music based relationship or an aesthetic relationship with the sound, because there's lots of sounds that happen all the time that we don't really define as music, that are just sounds, right? Environmental sounds, mechanical sounds, different things that are sounds, but we're not categorizing those as music, right? I think, and this is again, it's just my opinion, but I feel like music starts when we choose to experience something as an aesthetic, as a, an artistic expression or an artistic experience, first, and then we yeah, then now we have a musical relationship with the sound. So all music is a relationship of sounds, right? Via the composer, the creator, and then the sounds, how they relate to each other, and then of course how all of that, including the individual sounds and the music as a whole, is in it, how that fits with our own interpretation as a listener, right, and as an experiencer of music. All right. Um, so I hope that makes sense. Uh, and Roseanne, you're saying arrhythmic is often used for meditation. Yeah, I guess it could be. Could you give me an example of that though? Because I feel like rhythmic is often used for meditation as well. Maybe because it's a little bit hypnotic and trance inducing. But again, it depends what you mean by meditation, because there's a lot of kinds of meditation, a lot of types of meditation. Um, so in terms of mindfulness, um, you're saying your ADD is getting the better of me. Anyway, the rattle is called wasembe. Oh yeah, okay. Wasembe, Wasembe. Okay, yeah, and okay, you're thinking of something like a gong bath for like a meditation, or even I guess you could say even like singing bowls and things that are arrhythmic. So I see what you mean. You don't mean like random rhythms. You mean more like no rhythm, right? Like it's just like tones, like kind of like the Monolini. Is that right? Is that more along the lines of what you were talking about? So it'd be more of a drone, like washing sounds that are kind of overlapping and free flowing. Um, yeah, I can totally see that. I would agree. So the point with as far as music mindfulness, let me just leave you with this idea, and that is along the lines of the mindfulness, aspect of it, because music, let's just take what I said earlier as a given for the sake of this, you know, idea. And that is that something isn't music until we uh, decide or choose to engage with it as music, right? So music is not just something that's out there in nature that's objectively music, right? Even if somebody creates it as such, because it's really up to you, the experiencer of the sounds, even as the composer or creator of the music, to decide that it's music um, because of your relationship with it. Some people really don't have, and I can speak as a music therapist, some people, for whatever reason, never really develop a relationship with music. And so music doesn't really have an impact on those people because that's not in their scope of experience. So it just was like another sound, right? Just whatever, random sounds. And other people, and I put myself in this category, I tend to experience most sound as musical sounds because I love hearing. I'll tune into just different. I've talked about this before. Like for example, the sound of the leaves, just rustling up in a tree, or dry leaves across the sidewalk. Like just being blown across the sidewalk, or whatever it is. And then obviously there's nature sounds, birds and animals and things. But even just the wind through rustling leaves, or through blowing through pine needles, or the waves, of course, streams, all those kinds of environmental sounds can be very musical when we tune into them as musical sounds, right? So it is the listener that is somewhat defines the what the thing is. And so I just want to tie that into mindfulness, because mindfulness is kind of the same way. And we can get upset sometimes by the news or our own thoughts, vis-a-vis worrying and regrets and like ruminating, but thinking about things. But we have to remember that something isn't necessarily a worry, some thought, until we form that relationship with it. Up until that point, it's just a thought. It's like just somebody showing you a photo or something, or somebody coming up to you and saying some words, and your mind will do that, to you, right? Your mind will show you things, or think of things, or it might be in the form of ideas that are uh, verbalized in your mind, or it might be pictures, or it might be a feeling, or it might be whatever. Um, However you manifest those ideas in your mind, but how we relate to them is our choice, right? So that's where the mindfulness part comes in. Um, and of course, lots of people have talked about this in terms of um, whether it's Taoism or Zen Buddhism or mindfulness or whatever it is, in terms of deciding to create certain relationships with our internal mind, or deciding to not create those relationships and not be reactive, right? So I feel like playing music is a nice way to illustrate that, that things don't have absolute meaning. And obviously, another example of that, another example is that music is subjective, right? It's not objective. Two different people, or many people, will have as many different experiences of something as there are people. Um, and we can argue about whether music is good or bad, but it's kind of a pointless argument. I mean, you could talk about what you like about something or what you don't like about something, but that doesn't mean that I have to like or dislike, the same things, which is awesome, right? So let's take that away with us as we round out this Tuesday music. We have enough time to do our Gimme Five, so let's focus on that, and just remember that however we feel, however we relate to our own thinking is our choice, and that we can change the way we think, and we can change our relationship with our thoughts, just like we can change our relationship with the sounds in our environment. We can also choose to cultivate certain feelings by maybe playing music or having sounds that tend to produce certain aesthetic experiences like calming or relaxing or gaining energy, or having energy or movement. All right. Pick 5 instruments, put them in one comment. Yeah. So everybody look at Roseanne's comment that just came in. Oh, good. So Mick says Evelyn Glennie, who is a fantastic, she's Scottish, right? She's Scot. Has a video featuring the Wasembe rattles. Awesome. And Evelyn Glennie's an amazing percussionist, nearly deaf, and just a fantastic teacher and person and performer. Another one of our fellow musicians out there. So yeah, check out Evelyn Glennie if you get a chance. I think there's at least one documentary about her. All right, so I'm going to keep on playing the Manolini until we have a Gimme 5 set. All right, we've got a Gimme 5 from Roseanne. So Cajon, Manolini, Wasembe, Seed Pods, Flute, Bright Tempo. All right. Let's do it. If I can, Sienna, I think we can blend all those things together. So we'll do a Gimme 5 from the 10 things that you guys suggested, because some of them are the same. All right, here we go. All right, guys and gals. Um, Great, you guys are playing along. That's awesome. So yeah, what a nice kind of journey that was. So I hope you like that, and if you did, I'm happy. Get thumbs up or whatever. Uh, what you could do if you appreciate this is just tell your friends, tell some people about the Tuesday Musedays and see if we can get more people coming here because that would be awesome. Not that you guys aren't great, but this is a way for us to help, do some outreach and grow the awareness about music making, about all these instruments, um, and that's exciting. So, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Roseanne, and everybody who showed up today. Appreciate it, and I hope you guys are a little chilled out now. Even though I feel like the music I make here is pretty active, compared to a lot of like chill music. But it all, it depends on what you're into. So have a great week, everyone. I will see you next Tuesday, and we will do more music at that time. If you want to reach me in the meantime, or you have any requests, message me through Patreon, patreon.com/Kalani. You can also email me at kalanidas@gmail.com. Thank you once again. And let's go out on a little music. We'll see you guys next week.
World Drum Club,